and master financial freedom one episode at a time. Every week, we take you inside the story of money's hidden history, the problems that Bitcoin solves, and the choices that will shape your future. Each episode on this channel delivers a clear lesson, an interactive puzzle, and a path for you to level up, whether you're a first-timer or a hardcore Bitcoiner. We're just about to start the live stream show where we'll offer real-time challenges, giveaways, interviews with Bitcoin experts, and answer your questions. So grab your coffee or drink of choice and lock in. Here we go. All right. Well, welcome everybody to our second live stream event for the game of Satoshi. Hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear for all of you. I want to check in with the chat, say happy Halloween. I didn't wear my costume. I forgot it. Didn't really forget it, but I'll be wearing it later today with the kiddos. But I wish you guys all a happy Halloween. And of course, more importantly, how many of you knew that today wasn't just Halloween, but it's also the day that the Bitcoin white paper was actually released? So we are now 17 years into this amazing journey of Bitcoin. I sometimes stop to reflect on that, and recently I have. The fact that this project, this technology, was released on a fairly insignificant small web forum 17 years ago and was worth $0 back then. And you just fast forward time, 17 years, and $2.3 trillion. And now last week, if you guys caught that news, Chase Bank, the biggest bank in the United States, is now accepting Bitcoin as collateral for major institutional borrowers. It seems unstoppable, right? It does seem like a magical, wonderful virus that is eating the financial system. And it's just a miracle to kind of watch that happen. And I actually didn't know this, that the white paper was released on the 31st. So that's kind of a cool fact for us all to know. So how are you guys doing? Are you guys following along? Have you guys been getting your secret words? Have you guys been watching the episodes, reading the articles? Have you been, more importantly, taking your time? Remember, that was the big lesson we learned last week, I think, was not to rush, not to get too excited, but to actually take your time with the different episodes and the articles, and to make sure that when you're approaching those quizzes, you have all the knowledge and the wisdom at your fingertips, kind of in your short-term memory, so that you can answer it correctly, hopefully the first time through, get that secret word, and then go rewatch that episode. So we are learning now much more about money and Rome and the gold coins that they were using and how those had trust eroded in them. So a lot of cool, interesting topics and insights that we are certainly moving forward with this game. Now, today we have some really cool things lined up for you guys. As we did last week, we still do have some amazing giveaways that we will be doing. And we are going to be inviting a guest on who is the CTO of Peach Bitcoin, which is a peer-to-peer, no KYC Bitcoin buying and selling platform. So I've personally got a lot of great questions for that. Some of you guys that might be interested in buying or selling Bitcoin in a no KYC kind of platform, maybe you guys would have some questions in that. So make sure that you guys are being very active. The best way for you guys to submit a question, either about the game or for our guest today, or for me, or for maybe anything we could potentially help you out with, is to use that Slido link that is in the description box. Okay, so there's going to be a link there. Click on it and type in your question. If somebody else already asked your question, just give it a thumbs up inside of that link, and it'll pop it further up. So if we have time, if we're not overwhelmed with tons of questions, we'll get through all of them. But if we have many questions, dozens or even hundreds of them, we will probably just take the top rated ones. And of course, I will do my best to try to get you guys in the chat as well. As we did last week, I would also like to check in this week to ask you, those of you that are watching this live, where are you tuning in from? Which country are you in? And did the Central European time zone change this week mess you up? Because it certainly did for me this morning. I did not know that there was a time change in Europe this week. So I woke up thinking I was going to be coming here at 9 a.m., which I had told you guys we would do it, realizing that no, 6 p.m. Central Eastern time now is 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So regardless of what happens with these time zone changes, we will always default to the Central European time, 6 p.m. So I want to make sure you guys are clear on that moving forward. So where are you guys coming from? I'm going to check it out. So Jaroslav, you're from the Czech Republic. All right. Louis, you're from Honduras. Welcome, Louis. Marek, I've heard of you. Marek, our founder, is here in the chat. What's up, man? He made it to Vietnam this week. Glad you could join us, bud. Paul from Indiana. All right. We got another U.S. Viewer here. Who else? Where are you guys from? You're being a little bit shy already. Let me see. Okay. El Azdia Bitcoin from Mexico. Welcome. Martin from the Czech. Snowman from Czech. A lot of Czech. Man, we got a lot of love there out in Czech. Donovan, California, right on. I'm from California as well. Good to see you guys here. Well, welcome to all of you guys all over the world. We really appreciate you guys being a part of this great, wonderful thing called, and this great movement called, the game of Satoshi. Now, very quickly, a quick recap before we bring in our guest today. I want you guys to be aware that you can join for free right now. And if you have not signed up already for the Game of Satoshi, you should sign up for the Game of Satoshi. So you just go to thegameofsatoshi.com. The link will be below if you want to go check it out. And you basically just click on this Get Your Free Ticket. Okay, you answer basically 5 quick questions. Once you answer those correctly, you will be granted access to the players area. And so that's where you can basically find out where all the episodes are getting released. They also get released on this YouTube channel. You should be subscribed, all of you guys watching here, right? Hopefully you guys have all clicked that subscribe button. And leave a like if you guys are appreciating these videos, like these live streams. We really appreciate your support, of course. But this is where you can get the episodes and obviously watch the episode. Like for this week's episode, come down here and actually read this article, look at these graphs and all that good stuff, really understand Bitcoin and money better. And at the very bottom is where you can find that quiz. Okay, so you do need to answer all 10 of these questions correctly. Remember, some questions have more than one right answer, so select all that you believe are correct. If you get all 10 correct, then you will be granted that secret word. To find out the location of that secret word in your 24 block matrix, basically, you need to go rewatch that video and look and listen for that word to find a clue as to where it belongs, okay? So I know some people have been frustrated because this is not an easy quiz, right? And this is not just a guessing game. If you've been trying to do that, you've probably been noticing that your time is just going up and up and up. It is a proof of work game. You have to do the work. You have to watch the episodes. You have to read the articles. And you really do have to pace yourself and slow yourself down to make sure that you really know what you're doing, okay? So, but we've been seeing more and more of you guys with the comments and those of you that are in our Telegram group saying that you're starting to appreciate kind of the pace that you have to go in to really succeed at this game. And so I think as time goes on, more and more of you guys are going to be getting better at this. And of course, as we said last week, getting smarter about money and about Bitcoin. And hopefully for all of us, we can continue to help each other and others learn more about money and Bitcoin. That's kind of the ultimate game here, right? So just a quick reminder for those of you that are curious, if you're fairly new and you're like, well, what's the potential reward if I'm one of these people that can answer all these and get the words in the right order up until the end? And by the way, it's never too late to start. So even if you didn't start with us on day one, you can go back and complete your quizzes anytime between now and I believe it might have been January 7th or January 10th, but basically you've got many more months before we're finished here. So just because you maybe are a week or two behind when we started this, that doesn't mean like you're disqualified. Everybody can start at any time. Of course, the sooner you join us, the sooner you participate with us, the sooner you can start earning badges, getting points, referring friends, and also being a part of this really cool community and earning cool giveaways that we'll be giving away for you guys today. So anyways, this is the prize pool. Okay, so first place would get 20% of the pot. Right now we have a 1 Bitcoin guaranteed prize pool. So 20% of 1 Bitcoin, not a bad day to have, right? Second place would get 10% of that. Third is fifth, and then we go further and further down. But basically 5,000 players can earn sats as a result of the game of Satoshi. And our goal, of course, is that we are going to try to grow this 1 Bitcoin to maybe up to 4 Bitcoin. From the support of you, from our sponsors, from people that are going to be sort of allies of this, we're going to really do our best to keep growing this prize pool. So that's exciting. That's awesome. And I hope you guys are excited about that prize as well. So with that being said, what I want to do is kind of queue up our guest today, because this is going to be an interesting conversation that we're going to have. So today we have Alex from Peach Bitcoin. So Alex is the CTO of Peach Bitcoin. And before I bring Alex on, basically, Peach Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer Bitcoin buying and selling platform, and it is a no KYC platform. And myself personally, I'm really interested in this platform. I'm really interested in this approach to transacting and creating a kind of a marketplace for Bitcoin without the KYC. And if you don't know KYC, it's know your customer. It's kind of banking and sort of government regulations around money exchanges and that kind of a thing. So this is sort of a different approach for interacting, buying and selling Bitcoin. And so I have a lot of questions about the technology, how it works, the pros and cons, using something like this as opposed to the traditional maybe exchanges like a Coinbase, a Kraken, some of the things that we're all kind of familiar with. So I think it's a really interesting concept. And I like that there are people in this space that are constantly pushing the bounds and trying to find new ways to solve problems for us and to allow for more, just more marketplace transactions to be happening peer to peer. I think that's a really cool ethos and that's a really cool approach to it. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to bring on Alex, and bear with me for a second. We had a last minute change. I want to make sure that we have everything good to go for him. So Alex, if you don't mind letting us know that you're here with us.
Hello.
All right, we can
Can you
see you.
guys?
And I want to
Yes.
change your name there because Steph was going to be with us, but she won't be with us today, and that's okay. But Alex, welcome, man. Thank you so much for being with us today. We're really, really excited to have you here. I've got a lot of questions about what you do here, about what your process is with Peach Bitcoin. But before we get into that, I've got some other things I got to fix in my live stream. Sorry, guys, a little bit messy today. Why don't you start off, Alex, with what brought you to Bitcoin? What was the thing about Bitcoin that just grabbed you and wouldn't let you go?
I think it's independence. I think it's really the self-sovereignty part of it, and the trust in the trustless system. It really gives me confidence of what money is to me, and it really makes other forms of money completely deprecated compared to Bitcoin. So I want to. I came to a part of my life that I'm thinking long term, and there's nothing better than Bitcoin if you're thinking long term. So it really aligns with me, with who I am. The more Bitcoiners I meet, the more in touch with them I get, the more I see that I have stuff in common with them. So that's what brought me in, and that's what's keeping me in Bitcoin.
Awesome. And what year did you first hear about Bitcoin and actually get interested in it?
2012 was the first year I heard about it. So it was a long time ago. Unfortunately, I didn't get the best explanation of it, so I ignored it. But then time passed by, and well, Bitcoin has proven itself to be amazing. And if you didn't get into Bitcoin early on, it's fine. I think now it's a healthy time to get into Bitcoin because Bitcoin has been battle tested for the last 15 years. And it's fine if you didn't get in early because I think now is a good time to get in.
I agree. I feel like there's a temptation for people to see the number much higher than it was in the past and go, well, I mean, I could have caught it at the beginning, and I guess it's just too late now. But the problem with that thinking is always that you could have said that at any point when it sort of broke new highs, is to say, well, it used to be $100, now it's 1,000. I've really lost the plot. It's just too late. So you can kind of just play that game forever where you're constantly waiting on the sidelines to get involved or even spend a couple of dollars in it to just become kind of getting some skin in the game. So I agree with that too. It's a hard hurdle to overcome psychologically, but it's an important one. So let's go into Peach Bitcoin. Give me this sort of elevator pitch. Why did you get involved with Peach Bitcoin? What are your duties there? And like, what is the biggest problem that it solves? What are the pain points in our marketplace, in our world that Peach is solving for?
So Peach is a no KYC Bitcoin peer-to-peer exchange. And that's the reason why I heard about it and I got interested. I wanted to buy Bitcoin peer-to-peer. I heard it from a friend. Then Peach needed help. I joined. And then there's meritocracy in Peach. And then I just grew. And I'm pretty much the guy that handles all the technology stuff there. That's my responsibility. And why should people use Peach? Because it's as close as you can get to using Bitcoin in the way it's meant to be used without facing complex technical difficulties and still having a fun, colorful app on your phone to do it.
Nice. And so your particular job, you're the chief technological officer. So what exactly are your duties there? What implementations are you in charge of? And like, how are you making sure that the platform is successful and that people have a good and successful, satisfying user experience with it?
So we're a small company. So me saying I'm CTO is not like I'm managing 100 or 200 people. So it's not like that. I do a lot of hands-on work, and we can break down Peach into a mobile app and a server, and then a batching system for all the transactions. So that's pretty much it. So my work is to make that system better, to listen to our community and roll out weekly updates. By the way, we update every Monday because people just say, hey, what if we had this? What if we could do that? And that, okay, next Monday. That's it. So we cater to our audience. And also we want to constantly be evolving things like pay less fees, how to give more privacy. We're already pretty private, but we just iterate week after week. And my responsibility is make sure that the technology works.
Nice. Well, I'm curious if you might be able to give us a little bit of a demo or a walkthrough on Peach for somebody that's never used it before, how to navigate things, and then maybe when we're done with that, I can ask some kind of questions on my personal, if I were to put, some money on the platform and try to buy something, what would be my concerns, where I would want to make sure that there's some sort of like safety or some precautions or at least some thought into those things. So do you mind maybe giving us a little quick walkthrough of the platform?
Sure, I'm gonna share my screen. Let me know if the screen stops sharing out of nowhere. So share screen, share. Let me know when you see it.
Yep, I see it now.
Okay, so we have two phones here. One is going to be the seller of Bitcoin, and the other one's going to be the buyer. This is how Peach looks when you freshly install it. You just create new user, and as you can see, create an account, and you didn't even insert your email, phone number, nothing. That's it. And you're ready to come here, press buy, and interact with other people that are selling Bitcoin. So how does this happen? Pretty much the Peach app comes with a wallet, a Bitcoin wallet. So it's self-sovereign and it has the 12 words. And what happens with that is your public key, so your 12 words, will be your username. They will be your username and password, pretty much. So let me just show you how it goes. So a seller can just announce, okay, I want to sell 20,000 sats. And let's see if I'm using my local environment. Sometimes it gets a little bit clunky. But what can also happen here, let me just get back to this. I have a seller here selling 20,000 sats, and the buyer sees it and is like, okay, I want to interact with that. So the seller wants to be paid in euros through Wise. And the buyer also needs to declare what's his Wise ID or email. So let's just say that it's iPhone 17 Max. Confirm, request a trade. So this is like, let's just imagine this is Facebook Marketplace for Bitcoin exchanges. And he accepts. And now you can see that the seller has iPhone 17 Max here. So the important part of Peach is that we were able to communicate this information from one side to the other without Peach knowing. So this is end-to-end encrypted. So at this moment, the buyer is like, okay, I need to pay 19 euros 16 cents. So he opens his own Wise app and he sends it to the seller and he declares that he did it. And now it's the seller's turn to open the Wise app and check that he received 19 euros from a user called iPhone 17 Max. Okay. So once he does it, he just confirms, sorry, and that's it. And what happens is when the seller confirms it, he signs a transaction that releases the sats to the wallet of the buyer. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Peach doesn't own any of the euros. It doesn't own any of the sats. Everything happens on chain. It's as simple as this. No authentication. Everything is self-sovereign. Peach is just a middleman that coordinates the encryption and, well, just the order book. And that's it. It's as simple as that.
Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. So I'm curious then, what about fees then? So you guys are not taking ownership of anything, but just helping people find each other. What are the fees kind of associated with these transactions? Is there a range, a percentage?
Yeah, so it's a fixed fee. Well, no, it's a percentage. Sorry. It's a fixed percentage of 2%. We always take 2% of every successful transaction. And just to be clear, there is an escrow moment. So when the seller puts the Bitcoin somewhere to announce it, then that place is it's an address, and it's a multi-sig address that Peach has access to it and the seller has access to it. So Peach has a saying at that moment on that escrow, but it's still on the Bitcoin blockchain. It's not something that is third party stored at Peach. It's still something on the blockchain.
And yeah, that was another question I would have is in terms of the guarantees, right? Or how do I feel very, very secure and trustworthy that if I do purchase something through the platform, I actually do in fact get that. I remember watching one of your explainer videos kind of under the hood of how Peach technology works. And it looks elegant and beautiful. It's way over my head, unfortunately, so I didn't quite understand. But if you can maybe, is there a way you can kind of explain this escrow process to make sure that things are being authorized properly before there's an exchange happening?
Yeah, and first of all, thank you for watching that video tutorial. But yeah, it gets too technical, and I guess to really be confident that Peach doesn't that it's a safe place to trade at Peach, you need to get a little bit technical. But let's say when the seller puts the Bitcoin in the escrow address, in order to move the Bitcoin from out of that escrow address, you can go two paths. You can either get the Peach signature and the seller's signature, and then you can move. That's like the happy path. Everything works out well. And let's say the seller is not being cooperative, or like the seller disappears, loses his phone or something. After 30 days, you only need Peach's signature. So that's the other path. So what happens here is that ultimately it becomes a single signature of Peach. But Peach's reputation is very good. We never failed anyone. We were never hacked. So that's how it's safe. It's a reputation thing.
Very cool. And I did look up your reputation. You guys actually have really, really good reviews online. I've seen people in various websites that they share their opinions on different Bitcoin services, and you guys do have some five-star reviews for sure from some people. So it looks like you guys have earned a very solid reputation for your system, for you guys, what you've built in there. So that's really cool. Well, we definitely have a lot of really cool questions here for you. So if you don't mind, I'll definitely queue these up for you, and maybe you can see if you can answer some of them. Paul's saying, I noticed that what's that?
I'll do my best.
Yeah. No pressure, right? I noticed this from Paul. I noticed that when I made my Peach Bitcoin account, it warned me not to share my seed phrase, but I couldn't find my seed phrase anywhere. Maybe some help on where people can find that seed phrase.
Yeah, you go to settings, backup, and that's where you can find it.
Settings and backup.
Don't share your seed with anyone, because your seed is also your access to Peach. So even if your Bitcoin wallet has no Bitcoin, but you're going to get it from Peach, that person, if gets access, can also get access to whatever you're doing at Peach.
Good to know. Jaroslav, what makes Peach different from other P2P platforms like Paxful, No Ones, and others?
The fact that it's fun and very open, I think that's what makes it very different. Like if you go to our website and you just check the videos and the content, the open source stuff that we do our best to please our community. And I think that's what satisfies a lot of people. It's a mobile app. You can use it on your phone. It's meant to be simple and fun, but also as secure as possible. And we try to please everyone from all the entire spectrum. I think that's what makes it different.
Great. If Bitcoin adoption skyrockets and kind of takes over the whole world, which it looks like it's on its path to do, how does Peach evolve without compromising its no KYC ethos?
Well, if Bitcoin evolves more and more as it's evolving, I think it's because of Peach, honestly. Not Peach itself, but businesses like Peach. Because if we look at the three pillars of Bitcoin, which is the fixed supply, the self-sovereignty, and also the pseudonymity, anonymous nature of it, that it's just a random string that is a private key. I think those are the things that make Bitcoin grow, and that made it grow into what it is right now. And since Peach is on the no KYC side, it goes along with those values. So I think that the more Bitcoin grows, it's really more because of businesses like Peach and businesses that do this approach. However, It is changing. There's a lot of KYC centric businesses around Bitcoin for sure. I'm not sure if it will make Bitcoin grow. That's another conversation. We don't know. But one thing I can tell you, the moment that Bitcoin becomes the standard of money, there will be no need for Peach anymore because, well, no one owns fiat, everyone owns Bitcoin. There's no need to exchange Bitcoin. But one thing is that Peach is becoming expert in handling Bitcoin stuff. So what happens is we'll diversify. We build like very good technology. We're becoming experts at Bitcoin. So we'll just diversify. We'll grow up and sideways. That's it.
And this might be a similar question, maybe with a similar answer, but Ahmed has a question. What's the biggest challenge in scaling a trust-based P2P system without centralized oversight? And how do you solve for that? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so it's the compromise with simplicity and also making it fun with the complexity that's inherent to Bitcoin. I think, and especially, we are a mobile app first. And if we want to give users more options to have more freedom, it's a user experience challenge because we only have like such a small screen to do it. And this is the challenges that we are constantly looking at. How can we make this more approachable to every single type of person without losing the experts, the OG Bitcoin users? And it's amazing how we're always juggling both. And I think that's the biggest challenge, but we're definitely not scared of it.
Great answer. Very cool. What's the biggest? Sorry, we already got that one. Somebody had another question.
I can answer again if you want it.
Oh, there it is. No, there was another one. It disappeared on me. I got it. Okay. If this is a challenging question. Okay, so if I can buy Bitcoin on an exchange in 30 seconds, why should I bother using Peach?
Well, there's trade-offs. Definitely, if you're into the arbitrage game and the trader game, for sure, Binance is the way to go. Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, all of those. If you're stacking Bitcoin for the sake of privacy and actually getting directly Bitcoin on chain, not paper Bitcoin, and you're thinking of the long-term solution, then for sure, Peach is the way to go. Because this is not a game of speed. This is a game of endurance. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And I think that's the same message that the game of Satoshi is trying to portray. And it all depends on the values. I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say that Peach is better than another exchange. It's just catered to a different audience. And if you evaluate your values and you think about it, maybe Peach is better for you, maybe it isn't. But to me, it is.
Great. What's one thing maybe most people completely misunderstand about peer-to-peer Bitcoin trading?
That it is about making money, about increasing your euros. And I don't think it is. So whenever people think about trading, just that word trading is how can I buy low, sell high? But what I noticed from Peach is that there's people that have been in the Bitcoin world for a long time and they accumulated a lot of Bitcoin. They get paid in Bitcoin, but sometimes they just need some fiat to do whatever they need with fiat, which is totally fine. And that's where the peer-to-peer exchanges come into hand. Because, yeah, that's it. If you think about a guy that has Bitcoin stashed for 10 years, using Binance is also like a risk. You know, they don't want to just open themselves to all of that privacy that he accumulated. So the Peach is a good solution for them. So it's not about greed. Using Peach is not about greed. It's about survival and good Bitcoin usage.
Absolutely. Great. It's a fun one. Okay. If Peach could orange pill one country tomorrow, which one would you choose and why?
I don't know. I'm going to ask you guys, what country do you think that deserves most to be orange pilled?
He brought it back to you guys. You didn't expect that.
Because I don't know. Like, this is a very, very good question. I never thought about it, but my answer to you is the country that deserves it the most. Because this is the same thing that I answered previously. Bitcoin might not be for everyone's values. Some people will be like, okay, I don't want Bitcoin, and it's their choice. And those people live in countries, and countries have majority of opinions. And maybe there's a country where people really need Bitcoin, even if they're unaware of it. So if we could orange pill one country, it would be the country that deserved it the most.
Great answer. Love it. Hopefully we'll get some answers here. I think in the chat we got a couple. We've got please orange pill Honduras. We got Argentina. So we got a couple of couple of suggestions here. So right on. Well, one of the questions that I have, because obviously as I am, looking at it a variety of different places in terms of where I'm going to be accumulating, Bitcoin, where I'm going to be purchasing them and that kind of a thing. I think it's kind of I think you're right. Like the philosophy of where you're going to be doing your business and what your interests are really, really important in terms of where you supply your business to, because I really want to support people that align with me philosophically, because you can get Bitcoin from a lot of different places. There's all these different, here in the US, Coinbase, Kraken, there's a couple others that are sort of the bigger names that people usually go to, I myself included. But I do want to support people that are doing things, kind of in the shadow of the Bitcoin ethos and that sort of decentralized peer-to-peer sort of manner. So I really am interested in you guys for that particular approach, in terms of I really want to put my money where my mouth is, and I really want to support people that are actually doing this in a similar way that this actual technology grew and became what it was, in the sort of ethos of what it is. So if maybe I want to just kind of, before we get into our final question, I want to ask you, like, philosophically, not in the technology, I know you're the CTO, but philosophically, what does Bitcoin mean to you? And like, what promise of a future do you see with this technology, like philosophically, if that question makes sense?
Yes, it does make sense. And I know I'm the CTO, but it doesn't mean that I don't know how to cook or play basketball and do non-technical stuff. So why do I say this? I really believe that Bitcoin is not really about the technology itself. It's about the economics and game theory, because we already had the Austrian School of Economics way before. And then we got the technology to make it happen. And then Satoshi Nakamoto had the idea to use that technology to get the Austrian School of Economics into fruition, in a nutshell. So Bitcoin to me is an idea. Sorry, my connection stopped a little bit.
Gotcha.
Continuing, Bitcoin to me it's an economic idea that comes into fruition through technology. And what is the future of this? I don't know, but I think that we've proved to the world that people are smart enough to recognize a good idea when it's presented to them, even when governments and authorities tell them it's a bad idea. So it represents freedom, represents independency. It represents thinking for yourself. And I think that's what it's more than money. And it's first time. One thing that I tell people, like working at Peach, it's the first time that my job is not just about the money, and Bitcoin is money. And it's funny if you think about it.
Yeah.
So that's my answer.
Right on. I love that answer. All right. I also want to ask you too, have you played the game? And if you have, what would you say is the key to success with the game of Satoshi?
I've played everything so far. And the success is to be the key to success is to be patient, because it's not a hard game, it's just a game of patience. You have more than enough attempts to figure out the right answers to a multiple question game. Even if you fail every single one of them, you can just go back and try different combinations, and then you get there. That's actually what I did to be successful at the game. And it's one of those games that you just need to be patient, and it teaches patience to people. And it's something in the digital world that has been lost.
Oh,
So
yes.
guys, be patient. Be patient with everything in your life. It's the key.
I think that's the wisdom of the day right there. It's absolutely true. I have a couple more questions coming in. If you got a few minutes, Alex. Great.
I got a few hours. Let's
Few
go.
hours. All right. Don't know if we have that many questions. All right. So you were once maybe more of a skeptic of Bitcoin, didn't really see it as a sort of promise. First of all, is that true? I don't know if that's true. If that's true, if it is, what made you actually flip and actually see that this actually is a promising technology?
Is anyone asking that question because they kind of know me personally? Because I don't think I ever
Okay, maybe
portrayed
not.
that. Joking. I think I was skeptical for a while because I was just thinking, what's the point? And I think the reason why I was skeptical is that I didn't get the right information. A lot of people don't get the right information. They don't understand the underlying concept behind Bitcoin. So actually, I went to Bitcoin Plan B Lugano recently, and I was on the plane, and the flight attendant was a guy that went to school with me. I haven't seen him in like 20 years. I'm like, hey, how have you been? I'm working with Bitcoin. He says, oh, I'm DCAing every month on Binance. I'm like, cool. Do you know what a seed phrase is? And he didn't. And this is the point. So people sometimes invest, sometimes they don't. And even when they invest, sometimes they just don't have the most basic information. And you'll be surprised when you start orange pilling someone on the first couple of words that you say, you're already saying something that they never heard before. So it's clearly a misinformation problem. So I think that's why I was skeptical, because once I got the right information, then it was just nonstop. Everything made absolute sense.
Yeah, my journey, I don't know if I had the wrong information, but I definitely didn't have all of the information. And so I was aware of it early, not as early as you. I think I was 2014 or so, but didn't really fully dive into what the technology was and really what it was capable of and what the promise of it was. I just saw a number going up and I was like, hey, I want to be a part of a number going up. That sounds interesting. So that's what got my curiosity. And then there was a philosophical sort of tag onto it of like, yeah, maybe this will, whatever, disrupt central banking in the world. But whatever, it's kind of a pipe dream. I just did not take it seriously because I was like, this is sort of an internet project, right? And for me, I think what actually cemented my okay, it's time to really take this thing seriously is you cannot deny that it has just been creeping into everything. And it's basically just people who have doubted it, people who have called it a scam, people who have said that this will never be money, this will never be a thing, or governments should ban it ASAP, have to eventually accept it and put it on their books and buy it and start offering it to their customers. So in the beginning, you had the luxury of being, yeah, we should be ahead of the technology. We'll be early adopters. This will be cool to make us more competitive. And now we're in the phase of, if you don't adopt this, you'll be out of business. Like you will be at a serious disadvantage. So it's now not like a choice really for a lot of big institutions. It seems like whether or not they get to, they have to now. It's now you either adopt this and get on board with this, or you'll be blockbuster. You'll be left behind pretty quickly. So that's exciting. We had another question. What are some other options on Peach for on-ramping, off-ramping fiat on the platform besides Wise? Is Wise the only way to go on and off?
Oh, we support like as many payment methods as you can imagine. Wise was just one I selected that was familiar to a lot of people. So we support from those international ones like Revolut, Wise, and 26, all the way to even local payments just in Portugal or just in Spain. Those ones that you can just send money to your friends who's using your phone number. So we support pretty much everything. And if a new payment method comes on, we just add it to the app. Yeah, we support everything.
That's a great answer. Good to know that. Cool. Well, Alex, man, we've taken enough of your time today. Thank you so much for, supporting the show, for sponsoring the show. And obviously, we wish you guys all the best with Peach Bitcoin. And thank you for being a champion of this community and for, putting your money where your mouth is, putting your work where your mouth is, and really trying to create the future. I'm really, really just grateful to meet people like you who are actually builders. This world is not short of complainers and people who have a lot of things to complain about. And I have found that complaining about things doesn't really do much of anything. It might feel good in the short run, but I've really tried to surround myself and get curious more about builders in the world, because the future belongs to the builders. They're the ones not complaining. They don't complain. They just go build the future. They go build the platforms and the solutions that actually create it for a world that they want to actually live in. So I think you are one of those very significant players doing exactly that. So on behalf of everybody here, thank you for being a part of this movement, the game of Satoshi, and of course just for being the broader movement of Bitcoin. We need people like you. So from all of us here, big high fives, and keep it up, keep that coffee rolling, and keep up the great work, man.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And one small secret, I also complain from time to time. It's healthy to complain, but still, I totally get it. And complaining doesn't get us anywhere. Really, it never did. It never did, and it never will. So just look forward and keep true to what you believe. And if you're true to Bitcoin, it will pay back soon.
Beautiful words, man. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate your time, buddy. I will let you go now. You enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you guys real soon. All right. On behalf of everybody, thank you, Alex. Appreciate it, bud. All right, guys. So we're going to be hopping off into our giveaway section of the show. This is all of your favorite, right? So first of all, if you guys have not joined our Telegram group, you do need to join that. I wouldn't say you have to, but we'd love you to. If you have questions, if you want to interact with us, you interact with me, with the creators of the game, this is just a really fun hangout, and it's a way for you to basically just get smarter about the game. And if you have particular questions maybe you're not sure about, this is how you can get those answers very, very quickly. So below this video, there is a link tree. I'll show you that here real quick. That's not the right one. Link tree right here. And as you scroll down, you'll actually see that we have a Telegram group. These are all the links, by the way, if you want to get involved with us in any way you possibly want, and follow us on other social media platforms, all that good stuff. But definitely, please do join us on Telegram. That is a great way to get connected with us directly. Okay, so how many of you are ready for some giveaways? Put a yes in the chat if you guys are ready for some giveaways. Now, before we do this, we are going to have a random comment picker. Now, this random comment picker is going to be selecting a comment from episode 2's video. So that link is actually in the description box of this channel right now. So if you did not leave a comment on that video, go do that right now. Don't leave us. Open up another tab. Just click on that one. Go leave a comment. It needs to be more than a word, okay? Give us more than one word. If it's just one word, I'm going to skip it. We're going to go to the next comment. So please do go ahead and go in the description box, go to episode 2, and leave a comment underneath that. And so that's the video we're going to select a random comment for today. We also have the comment of the week picked out. Marek, the creator of Game of Satoshi, sent that to me. So we will be giving an award to what we feel is just the best, highest quality effort post here on the channel. So that will be coming as well. And then, of course, we're going to give a big prize, our Trezor Safe 5 Bitcoin only wallet, to the leaderboard winner. Oops. This week. So I'll definitely give you guys that here once we're done with it. That'll be the sort of the final prize that we have so far. So hopefully by now you guys have left a comment under that video for sure. Got yourself qualified to basically be one of the winners there. And I would really, really appreciate a like on this video right now. How many do we have here? It's funny, I can't see my analytics on the screen for some reason, but we do have quite a few of you guys watching. We'd appreciate if we got a like from everybody that's watching. 65 viewers, that'd be awesome if that like number hit 65 right now. So if you didn't hit like yet, please do click on that. Of course, subscribe to this, hit that bell. You'll be notified, of course, when we go live, when we do these live streams, and when we release our 2 videos every single week on Saturdays and Tuesdays, okay? Saturdays are going to be the episodes where we sort of teach a new concept in those videos. It could be about money, could be about Bitcoin itself. And then Tuesdays are when we release the mission. So that's going to be sort of and it's about us taking action. As we just said, as Alex just said, not complaining, not feeling sorry for ourselves, throwing pity parties, but actually taking action and focusing on what we actually can control over ourselves, over our lives, over our financial future, over our family. The Game of Satoshi's ethos is about personal responsibility, taking action, and focusing on what you can actually do with your actual own hard sweat and tears that you put into your life, into your work, okay? So with that being said, let me just, okay, so we are going to first give away our Guardian Mini miner here. So this is the one that we gave. I didn't have the right screenshot. Now I do. So this Guardian Mini is actually what we're going to be giving away. for today's live stream. I want you guys to be, looks like we lost a little bit of our speed there. Are we okay? Hold on a second. Uh-oh. My internet. What's going on here, guys? One second. Let me go ahead and quit Zoom. Make sure that's not an issue. Before I do the giveaways, you got to make sure you got a web speed. Doesn't look super good. Are you guys seeing some glitchiness from me? I'm definitely seeing some glitchiness on my end. I don't know what just happened there. Huh. Well, hopefully you guys can still hear me, even if maybe my video is a little glitchy right now. I do apologize for that. Hopefully that kind of sorts out. I don't know. Don't know what's causing that. I'm really, really sorry about that. Well, as long as you can, it's very choppy. Yeah. Let me just take off my... Maybe that's an issue there. Would help it out a little bit. Let's see. Even if you can't see me, give away some great prizes. I don't know what just caused. Huh. Okay, well, I think we're just going to go forward with a glitchy. I do apologize, guys. I'm going to look afterwards. I don't know. Don't have any miners there, so it's not that issue. I don't know what's going on here. So anyways, let's get the giveaway here. I'm not sure what's causing this kind of a little bit annoying. Yeah, definitely lagging. I don't know, but as long as you can hear, we can at least still give away a prize today. So the Guardian Mini is to be the first prize that we give. And alongside the Guardian, this solo mining handbook. And this is something you can actually get for free here at the guardiansofblockchain.com. So if you actually go to guardiansofblockchain.com, you can actually download this PDF. It's a free PDF where it'll actually give you really great insights and some direction on how to actually get started with solo mining. So this obviously is a solo mine, small and effective, effective one. But this is a great resource for all of you guys that are interested in solo mining, myself included. I definitely need to get myself out mining, how it works. And this would be something that I'm going to be definitely downloading right after this. Definitely make sure you take advantage. It's guardiansofblockchain.com. And so this is going to be one of our great giveaways today. And that's a great resource for you guys. And thank them for being a sponsor of this show. We really, really appreciate it. So we're going to go ahead to our comments now that all of you to leave a comment under episode 2. Again, it was the even stuttering. Is the audio still? Looks like it's climbing up a little bit better now, but I don't know. So it's one of those things where mid-flight here, I don't know what to do about it other than to keep going. So nobody can hear. Okay, it's really, really glitching out then, huh? All right. Can I do anything about it right now? Let's see. Sorry, guys. Apologize for the technical issues. We'll do a standby real quick. Fix this up. Sorry, guys. 1 second.